You probably use your sieve almost every day, but I guarantee you're missing some of its smartest uses. Today, I'll show you 8 clever sieve hacks that are so useful, you'll wonder why nobody told you about them sooner. Stay till the end, because the last trick is the one almost nobody thinks of. Let's start with hack number 1, and it makes cooking rice almost foolproof. Place a metal sieve directly inside a pot. A strainer can easily slip and fall into the bottom of the pot while steaming. To keep it in place, simply slide a spoon through the hole at the end of the strainer's handle and pour in enough water so it reaches about halfway up the sieve. Next, pour the rice into a sieve. Now simply cover the pot with a lid and let the rice cook for about 10 minutes. As the boiling water surrounds the sieve, the rice cooks evenly while excess starch drains away naturally through the mesh. You don't have to calculate water ratios, and you don't need to worry about burning the bottom of the pot either. And the best part comes at the end. Instead of struggling to drain hot water from a heavy pot, you simply lift the sieve out in one motion. That's it! Now pour the rice directly onto a plate or into a bowl. The rice turns out soft, fluffy, and evenly cooked without any extra effort. No measuring cups, no complicated ratios, and no awkward draining step afterward. Honestly, once you try this method, making rice suddenly feels much less stressful. Now that we've been using the sieve hack number 2, cleans it in seconds. After finishing your meal, try to wash the sieve and plate right away instead of leaving them in the sink too long. Once rice dries and sticks to the mesh, it becomes much harder to clean later. But there's also a simple little trick that makes washing the sieve much faster. Typically, when you scrub a strainer with dish soap, the foam gets trapped inside the fine mesh, and washing takes time because of the weak water flow. Here's the easy fix. Hold a spoon directly under the running water right above the sieve. As the water hits the curved surface of the spoon, it splashes outward in multiple directions instead of flowing in one straight stream. That scattered spray pushes through the tiny mesh holes much more effectively and quickly washes away the trapped soap and starch. You'll notice the foam disappears almost instantly. It's such a tiny kitchen trick, but once you try it, you'll probably never rinse a sieve the old way again. Making popcorn at home usually sounds simple, until kernels start jumping everywhere around the kitchen. And hack number 3 turns 2 sieves into the cleanest popcorn maker you've ever used. First, pour a thin layer of oil into the bottom of a pot and place it over medium heat. Then take a metal sieve and gently set it inside so the bottom lightly touches the oil. Now add the popcorn kernels directly into the sieve. Next comes the clever part. Instead of using a regular lid, place another sieve upside down on top to cover everything. The mesh still allows steam to escape while keeping the popcorn safely contained inside. As the kernels begin heating up, they slowly start popping one after another. You can hear the crackling sound, but nothing flies out across the stove. And when it's done, cleanup is surprisingly easy too. Just lift the sieve, pour the popcorn into a bowl, and you're ready for movie night. Have you ever tried making popcorn like this before? And tell me honestly, what's your favorite movie snack at home? Let me know in the comments. And if your sieve already looks old, hack number 4 brings it back to life. After using a sieve for a long time, almost everyone runs into the same problem. Tiny food particles and grease slowly build up inside the mesh, and over time, the sieve starts looking old-stained and difficult to clean completely. But don't worry, there's an easy way to refresh it. Place the sieve into a large bowl or deep container. Then add a few spoonfuls of baking soda directly over the mesh. Next, slowly pour in some vinegar. You'll immediately see the bubbling reaction start working through the trapped grease and food residue. After that, add enough warm water to fully submerge the sieve. Now simply let it soak for about 30 minutes. During that time, the baking soda and vinegar help loosen old buildup hiding inside the mesh without needing aggressive scrubbing. Look at that! The mesh suddenly looks much brighter and cleaner again. The old, cloudy grease film is gone. Trapped odors disappear, and the sieve feels almost refreshed like new. It's one of the easiest deep cleaning tricks for kitchen tools, and it works surprisingly well with very little effort. Sometimes you want to reheat steamed buns from the refrigerator, but then realize you don't actually own a steamer basket. But don't worry, your sieve can do the job perfectly. And here is hack number 5. Simply place the sieve over a pot with a little water. And here's a very helpful trick. Because sieves can sometimes slide or tilt on top of the pot, use a spoon to lock it in place. Rest one end of the spoon on the pot handle and the other end against the edge of the sieve. This small support helps keep everything stable while steaming. Now, place the steamed buns inside the sieve and cover the pot with a lid. As the hot steam circulates the buns, they slowly soften and warm up evenly. After a few minutes, open the lid and look at that. The buns become soft, fluffy, and warm again, almost exactly like using a real bamboo steamer. A perfect backup for busy days using a tool already sitting in your drawer. And now, hack number 6, how to fry a perfectly round egg every time. A regular fried egg often spreads unevenly in the pan. The thin, watery egg white runs everywhere, the edges become messy, and the final shape usually looks flat and uneven instead of round and beautiful. But a simple sieve can completely change that. Before frying, crack the egg directly into the sieve and let it sit there for a few seconds. The loose, watery part of the egg white will slowly drain through the mesh while the thicker white and yolk stay inside. Now, carefully pour the egg into the pan. Immediately, you'll notice the difference. Because the thin liquid has already been removed, the egg keeps a much tighter shape while cooking. The white stays gathered neatly around the yolk instead of spreading across the entire pan. And once cooked, the fried egg looks round, thick, and much more appetizing, almost like something served in a restaurant breakfast. Place a regular fried egg beside the sieve version and the comparison becomes obvious right away. One looks flat and uneven, the other looks clean, fluffy, and perfectly shaped. Hack number 7 can rescue your breakfast. You put a slice of bread on the pan, glance at your phone for just a moment, and suddenly that beautiful golden toast has turned dark brown or even slightly. But there's a solution. Grab a metal strainer. Use the mesh side to gently rub the burnt surface of the toast. As you rub, the dark burnt layer begins to break away. The fine mesh works like a gentle abrasive, removing the overcooked surface without damaging too much of the bread underneath. You'll be surprised how quickly the dark spots disappear. The burnt surface is reduced and the toast starts looking much more appetizing again. Of course, this trick works best when the bread is lightly burnt, rather than completely charred. It's a simple little rescue trick that can save breakfast, reduce food waste, and help you avoid throwing away perfectly good bread just because you got distracted for a minute. And here's the last one I promised, the one that saves your corn. Canned sweet corn is delicious and incredibly convenient. But honestly, draining the liquid can be annoying. But don't worry. This simple sieve trick makes it fast, clean, and much easier. First, prepare a bowl to catch the liquid underneath. Then place a sieve firmly over the top of the can. Now, carefully flip the can upside down above the bowl. The liquid flows smoothly through the sieve into the bowl while the corn stays safely inside the can without spilling everywhere. No more trying to hold the lid with your fingers and hoping nothing falls out. Look how easy that is. In just a few seconds, the corn is perfectly drained and ready to use for salads, soups, sandwiches, or quick snacks. And because the sieve catches everything evenly, you don't lose half the corn into the sink, like what usually happens with the old method. Who would have thought a simple sieve could do so many clever things in the kitchen? Which hack was your favorite today? Tell me in the comments. And if you enjoy easy kitchen tips like these, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the bell so you don't miss the next useful ideas.